What is your name, please?
My name is Theresa Stratus. My name is Theresa Stratus. My name is Theresa Stratus.
Only one of these young ladies is the real Theresa Stratus. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Dorothy Kilgallen, Johnny Carson, and Dina Merrill on To Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collier.
Thank you and welcome once again to Tell the Truth. Brought to you this week by Salem Cigarettes. Good evening, panel.
Hi, Bud.
Dorothy, it's a great pleasure to welcome you tonight to our show.
Well, thank you very much, Bud. I'm happy to be here, but scared. You're all so good, and this isn't my line.
Oh, come on. On this show, you don't have to figure out what their line is, just who they are. It's a little different. All right. Well, panel, will you kindly open up those envelopes you have and take out the affidavit cards for the first time and follow along as I read from my copy.
Isn't Bud poised next to John Daly?
I, Theresa Stratus, am an opera singer. When I was 15 years old, I had my own program of pop music on radio. At 18, I sang on Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts program and lost. At 19, I sang at the Metropolitan Opera auditions and won over some 2,000 competitors. I am now appearing as a member of that distinguished company. Among the roles I sing are Michaela in Bizet's Carmen, Zerlina in Mozart's Don Giovanni, and Mimi, the heroine of La Boheme. I am the youngest singer under contract to the Metropolitan Opera Company. Signed, Theresa Stratus. All set and comfortable, ladies? All right, panel, you heard them, as did I, all claiming to be Theresa Stratus, young Metropolitan star. Let's begin this first round of questioning with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3, do you recognize this musical phrase? Da, 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 da. Do you know that, number 3? Don't be upset.
Well, how about Beldi?
Yeah. All right.
Which I doubt, but...
Number 2, do you have any other ideas about it, just by chance?
I hate to insult you, but I couldn't recognize it.
Couldn't recognize it. Number 1, did you hear anything you recognized?
I'm afraid I didn't.
Number 1, where is the Metropolitan Opera?
It's on 7th Avenue between 39th and 40th Street.
Thank you. Number 2, where is it going to move, do you think?
Eventually.
Where will it move?
To Lincoln Center.
Thank you.
Dorothy.
Number 1, please. In Mozart's Don Giovanni, there is an aria which starts Batti Batti. What are the next 3 words, please?
We can't, this is like asking someone who is from a particular country on our show to speak in that language, and this we never allow, Dorothy. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They can't sing any phrases from it or recite any of the lyrics.
Well, it means don't hit me, please.
Well, you're not supposed to answer that in any event.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry and terribly flustered because my whole... that's how I was going to catch the wrong one.
The wrong way to treat a guest the first time, too. I'm sorry.
I'm awfully sorry. I'll think of something else. Number 1, would you mind telling me when you played these roles in the Metropolitan?
Well, this year I sang Mimi for the first time. I sang it last week, and I sang Liu this year. I sang Michaela last year.
Number 2, does Michaela get the boy in the end of the show?
No, she doesn't.
Number 3, what is Michaela's problem in
What
Carmen?
is Michaela's problem? She's just too good. That's all.
Number 1, what
Johnny,
do you think is her problem?
I'm sorry, Dorothy, your time is
my
up.
time up?
Johnny.
There's a real problem, all right, I guess. Number 2, what do you call that, the headdress that you're wearing?
Mantilla.
The mantilla. Number 1, what's the difference between a regular soprano and a coloratura? Did I pronounce that right?
A coloratura is a soprano, but she sings many trills, and she goes up and down the scales very quickly.
She does. Number 3, who is the head of the Metropolitan Opera?
Are you referring to the president or the manager? The president, the manager is Rudolph Bing. President of the association is Bliss.
Thank you.
All right?
Dina.
Yes, very good.
All right.
Number 1, who is the conductor, the musical conductor at the Met?
Kurt Adler is the head conductor.
Number 2, what is the name of the hero in Carmen?
Don Jose.
Number 3, who wrote La Boheme?
Puccini. Who wrote the music or the libretto?
Yes.
The music.
Yes.
Puccini.
Puccini. Number 3, what's the difference between a dramatic soprano and a mezzo-soprano?
A mezzo-soprano and a dramatic soprano?
Is there?
Well, I think you've got... a dramatic soprano would be, for instance, someone that would sing Wagner. A mezzo-soprano is a soprano that is... Well, there is really no... I'm trying to figure... I don't think that's a comparison.
Well, the time is up anyway, and as Johnny says, it's a soprano who sings mezzo. That's as good a definition as I've heard, Johnny. And it's now time for you to mark your ballots, if you will kindly do so. Put pencil to paper or ballot card, and without consultation, vote now for number 1, number 2, or number 3. As is customary, our challengers will receive $250 for every incorrect vote. We all set? Tom, what is your choice for this first one?
I voted for number 1. That little phrase that I was singing was from something in Carmen, I've been told. I only know it in English, though. But I like number 1's other answers, and number 2, I didn't care something for her pronunciation, and number 3 had a little trouble there with that last one, didn't she?
Dorothy, which one did you select?
I selected number 1, too, because I thought she was more convincing, and also because number 3 fooled me into thinking she wasn't convincing.
Johnny, what about your choice?
I don't know why. I know nothing about opera. I'm very plebeian on that, but I voted for number 3. What's everybody laughing about?
I don't know.
Maybe they know.
And finally, Dina.
Well, I'm with Johnny. I voted for number 3, too. I don't think there really is a great deal of difference between a dramatic and a mezzo-soprano. And when you said, you mean the lyrics or the music, I'm for you.
Okay, so we come for the first time tonight to our own particular moment of truth when we learn who's right, who's wrong, who's singing the right notes, and who's off key. And finding out which one of these young ladies is the young Metropolitan Opera star. So, will the real Theresa Stratus please stand up?
What did you say about my pronunciation?
Did you do that deliberately?
I think he was
I
afraid.
didn't mispronounce anything.
You didn't say Don Jose. You said Don
Don
Jose.
Jose.
Is that
That's
correct?
what it is in the opera. It's French. Okay.
It's French, you see. It is not Spanish. It's French. I'm glad for the fire you exhibited there to protect your own pronunciation. They gave us a good time extra. Number 1, would you tell us your real name? You got half the votes, and what do you really do?
My name is Brenda Zipkin, and I'm assistant to the society editor of the New York World Telegram and Sun.
And number 3, you got the other half of the votes. Your real name, and what do you do, please?
My name is Mary Papajohn, and I'm a personnel interviewer with the Maxwell Employment Agency.
Well, we check our score, and we find that you, in the vernacular, skunked our panel completely. You really fooled them. That means 4 incorrect at $250 each. You add it up yourself. $1,000 coming your way, ladies. Divide it by 3 ways. Oh, no. I wish it were. We'd play over there instead of here. But I hope you had a good time. You also received from Salem Cigarettes a carton of Salem's. Thanks so much, and many, many happy notes to you, young lady. Good night.
Thank you.
Now let's take a look at a couple who have found the secret of springtime.
Long months of winter lie ahead before white snow gives way to fresh white blossoms. But here with you is Salem, and with each Salem cigarette, something of springtime. So take a puff. It's springtime, every time with Salem. Menthol fresh, rich tobacco taste. Modern filter too, that's Salem. Flavorful, soft, and fresh. Salem air softens every puff, breathes in fresh air as you smoke. And only Salem brings you this special springtime softness. Smoke refreshed. Smoke Salem, one of America's leading filter cigarettes. More delightfully than ever, Salem refreshes your taste.
Now let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is J.T. Lyle. My name is J.T. Lyle.
My name is J.T. Lyle.
Again, follow along, panel, if you will, please. I, J.T. Lyle, am a hairdresser. 6 other members of my family are also hairdressers. What makes my situation a bit more unusual is the fact that I am also a full-time policeman. Even this is not unique in my family, however. My brother is also both a policeman and a hairdresser. In the beauty shop, which I own and operate, I employ my brother, the policeman, 1 niece, and 1 brother-in-law. I, of course, work in the shop in my time off duty from the police department. Signed, J.T. Lyle. Now, we have 3 gentlemen all claiming they can not only bring law and order to ladies' hair, but also to the streets of the city in which they operate as policemen, each claiming to be J.T. Lyle. Let's start this cross-examination with Johnny Carson.
Thanks, Bud. Number 2, I thought it was against the policy of the police department to have what they call moonlighting jobs, another job on the side.
That's right, it's supposed to be, but it sometimes...
What do you mean, you're just crooked, or what? You're really not supposed to have another job?
Well, some states say this, but we are allowed to do it.
Number 1, how do you tease hair?
Well, actually take a few strands of hair and comb back towards the head to give it fullness.
Is that good for the hair?
The ladies like it.
Number 3, how long have you been a policeman?
3 years.
What's your favorite hairstyle? Bangs? I couldn't. I'm going to resist that.
Dina!
Isn't that awful? Isn't that awful?
Number 3, what is a cold wave?
Cold wave is permanent, using solutions without, the machines.
Number 2, in the hairdressing lingo, what does stripping mean?
What is stripping? That's actually where you take all the tints and things out to get ready for whatever you like. You strip the colors and things from the hair.
Number 3, what 2 liquids do you use when you give a permanent?
What 2 liquids?
Excuse me, number 1, I'm sorry. Yes.
When you're giving a permanent, you use both the set and then the neutralizer later.
Tom.
Thank you, Bud. Let me ask number 3 if you know what a rat is. Do you happen to know? Huh? I bet they briefed you on this.
A rat is a piece that goes in under your hair to give you fullness.
Thank you. Number 3, how much do bullets cost?
Oh, about 10 cents each.
Well, how do you happen to know this?
I've bought them.
You mean, number 2, do you mean policemen have to buy their own bullets?
That's right, but on our force they do have to.
Is that to keep you from wasting them or something? Thank you.
Dorothy.
Number 1, am I to deduce from you gentlemen's answers that you are not New York City policemen?
I'm not.
Number 2, are you not also?
I'm not.
Number 3? I see. Number 1, when Princess Margaret was married, a French hairdresser did her hair. Do you know his name?
I really don't.
Do you, number 2?
No, I can't think of it.
Do you, number 3?
No, I don't know.
Number 1, who is the French hairdresser that Mrs. Kennedy goes to when she's in Paris?
I believe they refer to him as Mr. Kinney.
Who do you think it is, Mr. 2?
I think his name is Kenneth, Mr. Kenneth.
In France.
That's all the time we have. And again, we come down to that business of parting the hair on the right or the left or in the middle, wearing it in two buns over your ears. But in any event, let's mark our ballot, shall we, right now, without any further ado and without consultation. Voting as you do so for number 1, number 2, or number 3.
Wait, no? Wait till you ask. Do one at a time.
All right, all ballots marked?
But you got a big number.
Okay, Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
I voted for number 3. I liked his answers better. I'm sorry I didn't ask him about a come-along, but I know they would have covered that, too.
Dorothy Kilgallen.
Well, I voted for number 3 because numbers 1 and 2 didn't know that Mr. Kenneth was a New York hairdresser, not French.
And, Johnny, what about your selection?
I didn't know that either. I voted for number 3. It's going to be a sore loser. Number 3.
Dina, which one do you think is the real one?
I'm right with the group.
Hey, how about
Number
that?
3,
Unanimous
too.
down the line.
For the same reason as Dorothy, that number 1 and 2 didn't know that Mr. Kenneth was American.
Okay, there we go. Unanimous it is. Let's see whether we stand or fall unanimously now as we learn immediately which one of these gentlemen is the real combination hairdresser policeman. Will the real J.T. Lyle please stand up? Aha! That was a good comeback, I tell you. All wrong the first one, all right the second one. That means the third one is going to be the rubber match. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
Jesse O'Barr. I'm an assistant manager with the Mutual Life Insurance Company of New York.
And number 2, your real name and what do you do, sir?
My name is Basil Talent. I'm assistant wrestling coach with Hofstra College.
All I can say is you better not tease his hair. You're the wrong guy to pick. Well, we checked the score this time, and as we remarked before, since the panel was 100% right this time, that means that from Salem you get a little consolation prize of $150, gentlemen, but I hope you more than made up for it in the joy that you gave us. Thanks for being with us, and of course, pick up a carton of Salem for the way out. Good night. What do you enjoy most about springtime? Maybe it's the wonderful carefree feeling you have on a day like this.
There's a certain gladness that comes with springtime, a lightness of spirit and the very softness of the air. And with its own special softness, a Salem cigarette refreshes your taste. Air softens every puff with special high-porosity paper to breathe in fresh, cool air, to give you a refreshing and flavorful smoke every time. When you take a puff, it's springtime. No wonder Salem is America's fastest-growing cigarette by far. Menthol fresh, rich tobacco taste, modern filter too. Now more delightfully than ever, Salem refreshes your taste.
Now, panel, may I present our third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Mickey Thompson. My name is Mickey Thompson.
My name is Mickey Thompson.
Follow along again, if you will, please, panel, to the contents of this affidavit with your copies. I, Mickey Thompson, am a speed car driver. During my career, I have set some 54 world's automobile speed records, more than any other man in the history of the sport. In 1959, I built a car which I called Challenger 1. It has 4 engines totaling 3,000 horsepower and will go 210 miles an hour in low gear. In this car, I went faster than man has ever traveled in an automobile. In 1960, on the Bonneville Salt Flats, Challenger 1 hit a speed of 406 miles per hour. Signed, Mickey Thompson. We have three gentlemen panel, each one claiming to be Mickey Thompson, speed car driver, and we'll start this with our own speedster, Dina Merrill.
Mr. Thompson, number 3. Why do you have so many engines in that car?
Well, it takes that many engines to develop the horsepower we need.
But how can they all fit into one small car?
Well, Pontiac engines aren't very large.
Pontiac?
Pontiac
The kind
engines.
you use?
Yes.
Number 2, how many gears do you have? I mean, how many?
3 forward gears and 1 reverse.
Just the 3? The 3 normal?
Gears.
And how fast do you accelerate it in the low gear before you shift?
A little over 200 miles an hour.
Before you shift into second.
That's right.
Number 3, what company built your car? I mean, number 1, excuse me. What company built your car?
I built the car myself.
You did?
Tom Poston.
Thank you. Number 1, what is compression ratio?
The ratio of the space within the cylinder chamber to the amount of power that comes there. For example, in this case, we have 430 cubic inches per engine, 4 engines, a total of 1720 cubic engines for the Challenger.
Marvelous. Number 2, do you happen to know who Bill Loper was?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
Number 3, do you know who Walt Sebo was?
No, sir, I'm sorry.
Racing car driver. Number 3, what was Campbell's car's name? Do you remember?
The Bluebird.
And, thank you.
Dorothy.
Number 3, have you ever raced in Europe?
No, I haven't.
Do you know what the Mille Miglia is?
Yes, I do.
Where is that held?
In Italy.
Where is the race, what time of the year is the race at Le Mans held?
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Number 2, do you know the answer to that question?
I don't know exactly when. I think it's around June sometime.
Number 1, have you ever raced abroad?
No.
Number 3, has the Pontiac firm employed you?
Have I misunderstood the question?
I don't think so. I misunderstood the audience. I don't know what they're laughing at. Are you paid?
Johnny will straighten you out.
Are you paid by the Pontiac people?
The only thing I do for the Pontiac people is I drive the Mobile gas economy run for Pontiac.
Now we come to the member of our panel who has raced abroad, Johnny Carson.
And she lost.
I believe it.
Number 2, who won the race at Le Mans?
Last year?
Yes.
Phil Hill and Jean Debienne.
Number 1, can you give me a definition of a cam? And the function of a cam. C-A-M.
Of a cam?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in reference to the camshaft.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have.
I didn't hear that last answer. In reference to the what?
In reference to the camshaft, he said. So we got from cam to camshaft. It's now time to take your camshafts and write an answer on your ballot, if you will, please. Just mark those ballots quickly and clearly, without consultation. Vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. All set? Everybody marked?
Thank you. I finally got it.
Johnny, you all set?
Yeah.
Give it a mark so we can call out everybody. Dina, you set?
Yeah.
All right. Tom, which one?
I voted for number 3. I must say, it seems like the show went awfully fast tonight. Here we are on the 3rd one, and it's been fun tonight.
Dorothy.
Thank you, Tom. I take that as a compliment. I voted for number 2 because he looks more like other racing drivers I have known, and he knew where a couple of places were. All right?
Fair enough. Sure. Johnny.
Well, I only got a chance to ask one nutty question, so I decided I voted for number 3.
And Dina?
Well, I voted for number 2, Bud. He's got a kind of a look in his eye that has something to do with daredevil. I don't know.
Look what you're doing to Johnny there.
Nobody asked him if he ever raced broads.
The votes are in. All camshafts are where they ought to be, and let's find out now which one of these three gentlemen is the real speed car driver. So will the real Mickey Thompson please stand up? Thank you, sir. Looks like our three gentlemen, Tom and Johnny, scored winners on that one. They both voted for him. Let's find out about the other two now. Number one, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
My name is Gordon Hitchens. I'm a student at Columbia University.
Good for you, sir. And number two, your real name and what do you do, sir?
My name is Alan Lance, and I work at Pierre Andre's Beauty Salon. I'm a hairstylist.
That's our daredevil. Well, you never know what a camshaft will do you?
I think that's known as pulling a switch on us.
What do you say, darling?
That's known as pulling a switch on the girl.
Oh, that's as bad as the bangs one in the time before. Well, gentlemen, we had a lot of fun, and we hope you did. In checking the score, we find it's 50-50. That's an interesting score tonight. All wrong the first round, all right the next, and then 50-50. That means, of course, two incorrect at $250 each. From Salem's, $500 total for you, gentlemen, and I hope that is made up for not only by the fun that you gave us, but the fun that you had, too. Thanks for being with us, and pick up a carton of Salem's on your way out, if you will. Good night. Decongestant tablets.
Got a cold? Sinus congestion? Are you tempted by those all-day colds capsules? Wait a minute. Get more complete relief with Dristan decongestant tablets. Dristan decongests gently, does not overdry delicate nose and sinus membranes to weaken one of nature's defenses against infection. Dristan helps drain all 8 sinuses properly, thus relieves pressure, pain, congestion, restores free breathing without overdrying. Dristan has ingredients to relieve body aches and fever of a cold. All-day colds capsules have no such ingredients. And Dristan helps build body resistance to infection. In fact, after just a few Dristan tablets, there may be no need for all-day medication. You get more complete relief from colds, miseries, and sinus congestion with Dristan decongestant tablets.
Well, I guess that's about all the time we had for tonight. It did go fast, though. I had fun, too, Tom. Good night to you, panel.
Good night, Bud.
Good night.
Bud Collier saying good night from Salem Cigarettes and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
This is Harry Morgan. Coming home to the Pete and Gladys household is like opening a Christmas present. You never know what you'll find. Next on most of these CBS television stations.
To Tell the Truth has been brought to you tonight by Salem, the cigarette that refreshes your taste. This is Johnny Olson saying goodnight for To Tell the Truth. This program was pre-recorded.